Hey guys, this is your friend Iggy back again. So in this video, we're going to be reviewing the Gamdias Argus M1 mid-tower chassis. So make sure to stick around to the very end so that you guys can check out exactly what I think about this chassis, and make sure to click like and subscribe so you can get notified when I come out with videos just like this. Alright, so inside of this case, you get plenty of space to build in. You get about 15, maybe 16 inches, enough for the largest video card. And even here that I do have a liquid cooling unit up here, the Corsair H115i Pro, between the GeForce RTX 2080 XC Ultra, we have about 3 inches worth of space in between the card and the liquid cooling unit, so you can see how much space you have. Now, this is an ATX motherboard, but in here you are able to fit up to an eATX motherboard, so you have plenty of room. As you can see here, we do have the front liquid cooling unit. There is, they say, space up here for a 280 millimeter liquid cooling unit, but as you can see right up here, doesn't look like we have a whole lot of space for it. This heatsink right here would block that radiator. So it's actually best to put maybe 2 120 millimeter fans right up here, or maybe 2 140 millimeter fans. All right, so coming along the back, we can see we can fit up to a 120 millimeter fan. It looks bigger, but that's as large as you can get back here. Coming down, we can see we have 7 slots here. Now, this is a triple wide card, the EVGA GeForce RTX 2080 XC Ultra. And you saw during the build video, in order for me to remove these slot covers, I had to pry them off, so they're temporary slot covers. But they do give you slot covers in case you do remove it, so that's nice. So coming down here, we can see we have for the power supply, and then we have yet another filter here. You need to fidget it with it a little bit just to get it back in, but that's okay. So if they had made the case just a little bit wider, it is about 8 inches right now, but if they had made it just a little bit wider, you can see here where they could have fit a bigger liquid cooling unit. So then right over here, you can see it's a little bit awkward, but there would have been another screw here, but I had taken it off. You remove these 2 screws, then you remove this panel, and then you can unscrew and screw your cards in there. Now, this is pretty nice because while you don't have screws, maybe at that very second you got to go grab them, you can just put this in place and it's going to hold that card in there so it doesn't sag too much. So that's pretty nice. So let's check out the inside real quick with it on. All right, so along the top, just press the power button and she comes alive. Now, I don't have anything connected to it, so it might beep at me funny, but that's okay. You can see the inside looks pretty nice. There is no RGB on the inside, aside from what I may have put in there already. Nothing connected, so again, it's gonna do that. All right, so coming along the front, we can see we have some RGB. Let me go ahead and turn off the light. All right, so we can see the rainbow RGB, not only along here, but along here as well. Now, this is one of the problems I have with the case, is there's only 3 USB ports. If you plug in a USB header into a motherboard, you're supposed to get at least 2 ports, but I'm sure the ports help power the RGB as well, although you do connect SATA power. So you have 1 USB 3.0 and 2 USB 2.0s. Then along here, we have the headphone and microphone jack. We have the power light and the activity light, as well as the RGB light. Now, the RGB light is going to allow you to cycle through all the different kind of rainbow and strobing and all those different kind of effects you see here. Now, then you can also get through single colors if you press it enough times. And then you press it again and it goes back to those same colors. Now, if you press and hold it, it's gonna turn off. So that's pretty nice. And then just press it again and it turns back on. Now, a little confusing over here next to the power button, most would think that that's a reset button, but actually it controls that RGB here. Same thing with the front. If you press it a few times, you get solid colors. And then press it enough times again, and you get the rainbow again. And like before, press and hold it. It turns off. Then press it again and it turns back on. So it is nice that not only does it give you the ability without ARGB on your motherboard, which I didn't mention before, this particular motherboard, the EVGA Z370 FTW, does not have ARGB headers. Now the case does have ARGB connectors, so if your board did support ARGB, you can plug it in there and then you can control it with your favorite piece of software, or if anything, the software that comes with the motherboard. They don't include their own software, but that's not a bad thing. But in my case, since I don't have it, I can just control it from the front of the case. So that's pretty nice. All right, so we can see here at the highest settings possible on here, we have quality. Oh, let's bump it up to ultra, sorry. And then settings here, 8x, resolution, I have it at 1920 by 1080 at 144 Hertz. The only reason I have it that low is so that I can make a better video for YouTube. All right, and well, nothing much over here, but we can see everything is set to ultra. Everything looks beautiful. Now, I have the system, everything at stock. And again, the EVGA GeForce RTX 2080 XC Ultra Gaming, along with the Corsair H115i Pro liquid cooling unit. It is a 280, and you can see with this running, she's running great. The frames per second are a little bit lower because I'm recording the screen, but I wanted you guys to see that. One of the concerns I had with this case is the fact that the liquid cooling unit is right up front here, and then we only have about 3 or 4 inches of space here, and there is no ventilation up in the front, only the ventilation on both sides. We have about 4 inches in between the video card and the liquid cooling unit, but even with that, it's still playing this great. So let's see how it does in gaming. All right, so I am playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Again, I have the EVGA GeForce RTX 2080 XC Ultra Gaming. And I am recording with Filmora Wondershare. So she's eating up a little bit of the CPU and the GPU, of course. So I'm not recording with OBS, and it just got dark. Sorry, guys. I kind of started playing when it was daylight so you could see more, but you can see that she's playing great. I'm just running around to build up some heat. And you can see the system right over here. All right, guys, so now that we've already done the building and the testing, the benching and all that good stuff, I've actually come to like the Gamdias Argus M1 case a lot. Mind you, it does have its issues, to name a few. It only has one USB 3.0 point in the front panel header. I'm not a big fan of that. It should have 2, although it does have 2 additional USB 2.0, so in total 3. It does have ARGB in the front, that little laser, and then for the I/O and for the USB as well. Even if your board doesn't have ARGB headers, you can control it with the buttons. Now, there are filters along the top and the bottom too, so that is a plus. Now, unfortunately, because the case is not wide enough, you're not able to fit a true liquid cooling unit up at the top, though you are able to fit one in the front. Now, you have about 2.5 inches worth of space in that little hole you have down here. So I have a 280 millimeter liquid cooling unit up in here. Again, the Corsair H115i Pro. It's a nice unit, and again, the fact that you can slide it in that hole is a plus. The fact that they've included that hole is nice. Unfortunately, you can't go up to the very top because you have some of the cabling. So just make sure you know this if you are going to buy it, before you buy it, that you have all that room. You can't fit that liquid cooling unit up here. Again, because it's not wide enough, so it's going to hit your motherboard's heatsink up here, or maybe any other component you might have there. Now, there is plenty of room for a CPU fan. And then another thing I don't like about the case, but some people might, is the fact that it does not come with any fans. So you have to provide your own fans, which most of the time anyway, people just toss the fans that it comes with or puts them aside and buy their own fans. Not a big deal. Another downfall is for the I/O in the back where you put your video cards. While there is 7 slots, and that's nice, when you remove one of the covers, you can't put it back. So you have to pry it open, as I showed you in the install video, and then you just toss that. Now, they do give you extras just in case you decide a little bit later on, oh, I don't want to put this, or for my case, this video card takes up 3 slots. If I buy another card in the future that only takes up 2 slots, I can just pop that shield in and I'm good. But you only get, I think it was 2. So another thing you might want to take notice on. Now, in this case, you can fit up to an EATX motherboard, so that's nice. It gives you a ton of features, and it does come with a glass side panel, which is definitely a plus. I like to see my system. I think my system is beautiful. I love my builds. The other side, the side that we never look at, is a solid panel. So for those of you that want both sides to have a tempered glass, this might not be the case for you, but that's where I hide all my cables, as you saw before. So I don't want it to be shown. Now, the front of the case is beautiful. It is also tempered glass, and it does have that nice Gamdias logo. I like the way it looks. It's not incredibly sexy, but it's nice to look at. And then, of course, with the I/O up in the front for the USB, the front panel headers, microphone and headphone, and the activity lights and all that good stuff, it does look pretty sexy. And then even if you don't have those ARGB headers, you can change it to just about any color you like with those buttons. So that is pretty cool. You can have your own blue or green or red theme, totally up to you. Now, the other incredible plus to it, it's about $70 or $80 on Amazon, and I'm going to include all of my affiliate links for every single thing inside of the system, of course, including the case, down in the description and pinned comment below, so you guys can check it out, see how much it costs and everything along those lines, and you can see what I have in my system. All in all, I think it's a nice case. I think it's a beautiful case. It's very affordable, and it doesn't look like it, but it actually cools pretty well. Those are my 2 cents on it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and if there's anything I did miss, please do let me know. All right, guys, Iggy out. See you guys.